always works. When I first became best man, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know what the job exactly entailed, but I knew I had to plan the stag, and I knew I had to give a speech, but past that, I didn't really know. So a couple months ago, Jeff gave me a call from home. Called the house and said, I need you to go and run off all the invitations off the computer. I said, no, I'm not doing that. He said, no, come on, you got to do it. So we argued for a while. I said, I mean, that's a ton of pressure. I threw up the invitations, there's no wedding. So anyway, he won the argument, so I did it. And the wedding's on, so then this week comes along, and I know I just kind of got to be there for whatever needs to be done. So Tuesday comes, and my mom gives me a call. Says, Jeff and Kelly are too busy. Their lawn's too long and needs to get cut. So I said, okay. So I go over there and pull into the driveway, and there's Kelly out she's already there trying to start the lawnmower. Won't start. So I get out, and she goes, lawnmower won't start. I get it started, then it stalls, and she has a ton of theories on why the lawnmower won't start. Apparently she's a mechanic on the side. But, so anyway, I get out and I look, I go, have you put any gas in the mower? She said, oh yeah, we put some gas in last night, or yesterday. So I look in the tank, and I don't think there's any gas in here. So she says, oh, it can't hurt to put some more in. So sure enough, we pour some more gas in, start the lawnmower. 20 minutes later, the lawn's done. So I guess Cody, I mowed Jeff's lawn again. And I can say that Kelly confirmed that I really am the best man. So I did get to plan the stag with a ton of help from Cam. We actually had two stags. We had sort of a pre-stag stag where we went to Whitefish. There was about, I think, 9 of us. So we go up there for the weekend. So we come back on a Sunday. I drove and drive home and drop everyone off. So I go to drop Jeff off. So I go inside, say hi to Kelly. So Kelly comes running to the door. She's in a panic, freaking out, going, I came home an hour ago and the back door was open. I've been on the phone with my dad for an hour, holding a knife. I think there's someone in the house. She goes, I checked upstairs. There's no one upstairs. I think they're downstairs. So I'm shaking my head. Okay, so me and Jeff go downstairs, check the basement. There's no one there. All right, there's no one there. So we head back upstairs to the main floor. I notice the door's closed to the main floor. So I kind of wonder, and so Jeff doesn't say anything. We walk through the door, and there's Kelly watching TV. I'm thinking, hey, we wouldn't want to interrupt your Sunday movie hit with the noise of us fighting a madman downstairs. So the next day, she sends me an email on something, and she signs it Knife Girl. I'm shaking my head again. I'm thinking, hey, this crazy lunatic that broke into your house is actually called Wind. Jeff does take care of Kelly, though. I don't know if you know this, but tonight they'll be staying their first night as man and wife at the Holiday Inn Express. Express, eh? Apparently, just like Jeff's former employer, the Canadian Airlines, he underperforms. He has had some bright moments, though. Normally every year my dad takes our boat up to the lake and launches it, gets it all ready for us. So when we come up, we just come up and it's ready. We can take it out. A couple years ago, Jeff decides that he wants to go up to the lake a couple weeks early, And the boat's not in the water yet. So he tells Dad, hey, I've seen you launch it a ton of times. I can do it. Dad says, all right. So he gets the boat all ready. And the last thing he says before they head off, he goes, you make sure you put the plug in before you put the boat in the water. Oh yeah. So off they go. They get up there, they get the boat all ready. The last thing he does before he puts the boat in the water, puts the plug in, has a couple guys check it, they check it, yeah, it's good, yeah, okay. So they launch the boat, take it off, drive it around, running well, so they park it, head off into Invermere for an hour or two. Come back, and there's a ton of commotion down by the docks. So they head down to see what's going on. Of course, there's our boat, still tied to the dock, but at the bottom of the lake. Apparently he didn't put the plug in it. Like Jeff was saying, he did have quite a crew up in Windermere. They called themselves the Terra Vista crew. Everyone else called them the Undesirables. I think it was about when they were about 15 years old, they decided they were going to go camping across the lake, take a couple boats over. They also decided they're going to take some beer. So they get one of the older sisters to get us some beer. She says, okay, yeah, just get a list together and I'll go get it and then we'll meet. So they get a list together, give her the list, she looks at it, okay, goes over, they meet, head across the lake, stay there for the night, come back, but I guess little did they know, she had memorized the list, left the list on the Heisey's counter. So Mrs. Heisey comes home, sees the list on the counter, so she knows what's going on. So they're across the lake, come back in the morning, and there's Mrs. Heisey standing on the dock with the list waiting for them. So they scramble together to get a story together. So I guess they come up with that, okay, they all had one beer, and this guy named Lou drank the rest of the beer. Coincidentally, Lou was a friend of one of them and had no parents there, so I guess for good measure that threw into our mom. Well, Mom, I didn't even really like the beer. Well, I shouldn't tell the last story because it kind of makes me look stupid, but when I was going into grade 7, Jeff was in grade 9, and so I'm in grade 7, I'm going in as a new student, grades of 7 to 9. So I go in, first day of school, lunch comes. Mom's giving me $5 for lunch. So I head out into the yard, I'm heading off to 7-Eleven to get my lunch. Some guy comes up to me, he's like, you want to have lunch today? Oh yeah, I got a lunch. You eat it already? No, my mom gave me some money, I'm going to go across to 7-Eleven and buy some. How much she give you? $5. So he goes, give me the money. I'm not giving you the money. Give me the money. I'll give you the money. Give me the money. Here's the money. So then that night at dinner, so how was school, Kyle? I had my lunch money stolen. Oh yeah, Jeff jumped in, really? I said, yeah. If that happens again, let me know. Sure enough, the next day at lunch, Mom's made me a lunch. So I head off into the schoolyard again, same guy. So you brought your lunch today, yeah? Give me your lunch. Don't give me my lunch. Give me your lunch now. Give me my lunch. Give me your lunch. Here's my lunch. So I head off. I gotta find Jeff because it's dead. This can't go on. So find Jeff, call his buddies. I go, what's happening? Got my lunch stolen again. So he's like, where is the guy? I go, he's across the way. I explain what he looks like, what he wears. He heads off with his buddies across the way. He comes back with some guys. Is this the guy? No, that's not the guy. A good thing, because it was one of his good friends. So we're standing around. All of a sudden I go, there's a guy, that's him over there. So Jeff was flying over, hammers him against the fence, and thinking, here we go. And but then we're right by the teachers' lounge. So of course out comes the teachers there, break up the fight, take the names down, so they're like, get back to class. So we go back to class and sit in class and phone rings. Kyle, you gotta go down to the office. Badass, eh? Second day of school to the office. I got a photo picking on me. So off to the office, and there's Jeff in the office, like, joking it up with the secretaries, and he's like, apparently he's been here before. Anyway, we go into the office, and he doesn't really, tells me to quit being a wimp, and Jeff said, you shouldn't be fighting, but you really got to stick up for your brother. That's just the type of brother Jeff is. He's always looked out for Leanne and I. And I actually, same line as he is, but I didn't really know what I was going to say about him. Like I could stand up here forever and talk about him, and I actually didn't think I would be able to get through it because he's my hero. I remember when we were young, I used to always hang around him, and when his hockey teams would go to, they'd go out on a Friday night, and he'd always be, Kyle, you want to come along? I'd love to come along. There's nothing more, there's nothing I'd rather do than hang around with him on a Friday night. And he would always do that, and I'd always be the only brother. And I always, I look back now and I think, why would he do that? Why would he let me hang around his, 20 buddies, and then me, 3 years younger? But that's just the kind of guy he is. He's led the way for Leanne and I, and it's no coincidence that Leanne followed him to Western, and I'll be following him to UFC in the fall. He's shown a great example throughout his life by making great choices, and today he's made the greatest choice of all by choosing Kelly. Jeff, it's been an honor to serve as your best man. Congratulations. And if I could ask you all to stand and join me in a toast to Jeff.